In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession, was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer me. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Okay, there are two worksheets in play. One of them was the diagonal hyperbola one. That one is due today. I'm going to check that off and then go through the questions. Then the other one, which I'm not quite sure what the number was, that was the one on general form conics, 6D-1. And did I give you the 6E dash? Okay. Oh, wait a minute, did I check off the diagonal hyperbolas already?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, there are two of them named 6D-1. That explains a lot. Okay, so, yeah, the one I checked off for you, did I just give you the diagonal? Oh, okay, yes. I'll come around and check it out. Yeah, put the diagonal hyperbola one away. So yeah, the second 6D-1, which should say general form conics, that's for today. Then the 6E-1 is going to be for tomorrow. Lindsay?
Here. I bet he told me that. None of them look like that. I need the other one. No, they don't. I'll just show him. They can do it with this one. The ground. I have some. I would just like
I'll be back.
that one is unbelievable. When would I have a freckle that for that?
For those of you watching at home, I'm sure this is totally exciting. Go grab a bowl of chicken soup or something. Is there anything else? What did they put 6, 7, 9, 10, 12? The senior. Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay, if you're not sick, just watch it anyway. Grab a sandwich. Okay. I think you got it. Success? No success? Oh, good.
He was mixing with fingers again.
I need more room. I'm not sorry. Mary. What song was it that we
Okay,
listened
grab your
to
favorite
when
red
we were
writing utensils.
before we went into drama?
Here we go.
Talking to the moon.
This is again for 6D-1, the correct one this time. General form conics. Here we go. Number 1 is a hyperbola. Number 2 is a hyperbola. Number 3 is a hyperbola. Number 4 is an ellipse. Number 5 is a hyperbola. 6 is a parabola. 7 is a hyperbola. 8 is a hyperbola. 9 is an ellipse. 10 is an ellipse. And it repeats 1 through 10. Yeah. 6 was parabola. Any others? Repeats, yeah. 3 was parabola. Any other repeats? 1 through 10. All right, we'll go through these in a moment. Let me enlarge these so I don't have to squint. Number 11. Graph, yeah.
Sorry. So number 3 is a parabola, not
3
hyperbola?
is a parabola, correct.
The first time you said hyperbola.
Did I say hyperbola? Ah, I'm an idiot, sorry. Number 3 is a parabola, my bad. Sorry, if anybody was getting that. It can't be hyperbola. You're right, it can't be hyperbola. Number 11. This thing is a hyperbola. The horizontal radius is 1. The vertical radius is 1. The center is 0, negative 3. The vertices are 0, negative 2 and 0, negative 4. It opens up down. The asymptotes are y minus negative 3 equals 1, parentheses, x minus 0. And the other one is y minus negative 3 equals negative 1, parentheses, x minus 0. If you simplify those, it could be y equals x minus 3 and y equals negative x minus 3. It's totally up to you. The focal move is radical 2. So the foci are at 0, negative 3 plus radical 2, and 0, negative 3 minus radical 2. And I think that's it. Any repeats on that? Righty, number 12. This is a parabola. It's opening to the right. It has a vertex of 0, negative 1. It has a focal move of 1/4, positive. So the focus is at 1/4, negative 1. The directrix is x equals negative 1/4. The axis of symmetry is y equals negative 1. And it opens to the right with a pattern of over 1, up 1, over 2, up 4, etc. Any repeats or explanations in number 12? Is any of that hard to follow? Okay. Again, if you have any new questions, let me know. Number 13 is a circle. The center is 1, negative 1. The radius is 4. Should be able to graph it from there. Number 14. Sorry, any repeats of number 13? Okay, number 14 is an ellipse. The center is at 3, negative 3. The horizontal radius is 3. The vertical radius is 4. Oh, I forgot to do A and B on that previous one. The one with the hyperbola. A and B, well, they're both 1, so okay. I guess it wasn't a big deal. Number 14, back to the ellipse. So A is equal to 4. B is equal to 3. The focal move is radical 7. So the foci are at 3, negative 3 plus radical 7, and 3, negative 3 minus radical 7. The vertices, the two major vertices, are 3, 1 and 3, negative 7. The two minor vertices are at 6, negative 3 and 0, negative 3. And let me see, I forgot the eccentricity on the other one too. I need the next. The eccentricity on this thing is radical 7 over 4. Did I miss anything on this? I think I got that. And scooting back up to number 11, the eccentricity on this thing is radical 2. Any repeats 11, 12, 13, or 14? All right, yeah, question.
What were the foci for 14?
14? They are at 3, negative 3 plus radical 7, and then 3, negative 3 minus radical 7. Any other? Okay, questions? Yeah.
To 11.
11? Okay. Number 11 looks like this. We have negative x squared plus y squared plus 6y plus 8 equals 0. What shape is it? Yeah. Say again? Okay. What shape is this thing? Go. It's a hyperbola. Why? How come?
Because there's both variables are squared and then it's a negative in front of the x.
Right. If one is positive and one is negative when both are squared, that's a hyperbola guaranteed. Who's the leader? Nate.
X.
You sure?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Explain. Because you're right, x came first.
But is positive.
Yes. It has to be a subtraction problem. If it's written like this, it can't be a subtraction. So it's y squared minus x squared plus 6y plus 8 equals 0. That'll make it a little more handy. Or if you just want to memorize, whichever one is positive squared term, that's the leader. It's a good trait in a leader to be positive. Okay. So if you've got the y's first, group them. Y squared plus 6y plus blank. Do the same thing with the x's. Whoops, minus, my fault. But there's not much to do. It's x squared, and then there's nothing, and then there's nothing. So I would write it like this, plus 0x plus blank. And I would subtract the h to the other side. That's the setup for this. We do need to get this in proper form. So this is going to compress to y plus 3 squared. Josh, what should have been here? 9. Just make sure you add it to the other side. And over here, minus, this is going to be basically x minus 0 squared. So this should be out. Well, there's not much mystery. Should be 0. I suppose technically you should add 0 to the other side. So this is equal to 1. Now this is a little bizarre. The answer should be 1, and it is 1. But there's supposed to be stuff underneath here for hyperbola. What is underneath there? Okay. Ones. This is over 1 squared, over 1 squared. Good. So now we have the center at 0, comma, I need to fix this. Y plus 3 is really y minus negative 3. 0, comma, negative 3. Does that make sense? Then the horizontal radius, which is here, is 1. The vertical radius, which is here, is 1. Now we got off kind of lucky because the A and the B are both the same. But how do you tell which one's A and which one's B in a hyperbola? It's different than an ellipse. Go. Right, it's the leader. In this case, the vertical came first. Not because it's bigger, because neither one is bigger, but it's the leader radius. Okay. Focal move. What's the focal move formula for a hyperbola? Please. Plus b squared. What would that make?
2.
Yeah, 1 plus 1, which is radical 2. Make sense? So it's a little bit bigger than 1. We can probably graph this thing now. We need to graph it anyway. So 0, comma, negative 3 is down here. Let me just put this underneath. Horizontal radius is 1. Vertical radius is 1. What do you draw first, gentlemen? I would like to keep you where you are, but not if you chat with each other. What do you draw first when you're graphing a hyperbola, Katie?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what do you draw first when you're graphing a hyperbola? True. Okay, you got me there. After that? Not yet. There's something you have to do in order to make the graph work at all. Mary?
The guide box?
The guide box, right. Horizontal and vertical radii. That'll tell you where the vertices are. because he can't find the vertices without the box. Question, which way does this open? Nate,
It is gonna open up then.
explain.
Because the leader is one.
Correct. Y is the leader, so the thing's opening up, down. How do you actually start graphing this thing, Sam?
You have to draw the asymptotes
Yes, how?
diagonally across the guideline.
Correct. Diagonally from corner to corner, and it should go right through what?
The center.
The center, correct. You have diagonal lines going corner to corner, right through the center. And remind me, Becca, is this opening up, down, or left, right?
It's opening up, down.
Up, down. So you hop on the top of the box, chase the asymptotes. On the bottom of the box, chase the asymptotes. These are your two vertices. Vertex 1, vertex, you can call them either or. Does that make sense? The left and right ones were never used. They're not vertices at all. Okay. So, any other parts anybody want to see worked? Who is asking on number 11? I forget. Okay. Any other parts you want to see?
That's good.
Okay. Anything else you want to see on the entire page? How did page 1 go, 1 through 10? See something? Okay. Any others? Yeah.
Number one.
Number 1. I can't say, let me scroll back. Okay. Now, remember the U's and the V's? Swap X's and Y's into them. So I'm going to, let me get some space here. I'm going to recopy number 1 using X's and Y's. So negative 37x squared plus 26 radical 3 xy. Ladies. Same rule holds for you as holds for the gentleman. Minus 11 y squared minus 50 equals 0. Okay. Can I just eyeball this? Can they just say, hey, x and y are both squared and they both have negatives, so it has to be an ellipse?
No, we have to put it in the b squared minus 4ac.
Why? You're right. But why? Why not just eyeball it? Go. Yeah, look. Go. Either way. Go ahead.
Because there's an xy term.
There's an xy term. If there's an xy term, we cannot tell just by sight. You have to use the formula b squared minus 4ac. Can somebody tell me the 3 options for the answers that come out of b squared minus 4ac? Go.
Greater than, less than, equal to 0.
Yeah. What happens if it's less than 0? What kind of shape are we talking about?
That's a hyperbola. Oh no, it's an ellipse or circle.
Ellipse or circle, in other words, it's enclosed. This is escape strength. So if it's less than 0, it's the weakest, and you won't even be able to escape at all. You're trapped. So it's some sort of enclosed figure, an ellipse or a circle. What if it's equal to 0? Liz? Parabola. What if it's greater than 0? Hyperbola. Correct. Let's try this thing. What's A? Megan, take over. In this whole mess, how do you find A? What does that even mean? There's a big general form. I don't even know if you were here for that one. Okay. Well, it's capital A x squared plus capital B xy plus capital C y squared plus capital BX plus capital EY plus capital F equals 0. So there's the general form of any conic on Earth. They're usually not written that big, but they can be, and that's what makes this formula work. So match them up and tell me what's what. So it's something squared minus 4 times something times something.
26 radical 3
Yes, 26 radical 3 squared, and then what goes here?
times negative 37
Uh-huh.
and then
Negative 11. Question?
Measure.
Yeah, start back. How do you do this? Right there, take over. How do you square 26 radical 3? Square both of them. Yeah, it's 26 squared times, what's radical 3 squared? Times 3. We'll do that in a second. And this will be times -4 times -37 times -11. Grab a calculator. Unless you just like working in your head, in which case you're actually better at this than I am. I got 26 squared times 3. I got 2028 on the first part. Minus -4 times -37 times -11. -1628. Can you tell me what shape this is right away? Mary. How do you know it's hyperbolic?
Wait, why is it minus negative?
This thing was -4 times -37 times -11.
Oh.
So, I'm sorry, plus negative, my fault. Because I did add the opposite. So this whole mess is gonna be negative something.
So it's a hyperbola,
It is, why?
because it's gonna be a positive number.
Right. This thing, even though you're subtracting this, is still positive. I think it's positive 400, is that right? And if it's above 0, it's gotta be a hyperbola, because this escape strength is strong. Does that make sense? Any last questions? Going once, twice. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Could you give us an example when it's a circle?
When it's a circle, yes. Like, let's just say with an XY term.
Yeah.
Let me see. Actually, interestingly enough, if there's an XY term, it's impossible for it to be a circle.
So it'd be.
Because circles are allergic to B's. So if there's a B term, which is an XY term, then there cannot possibly be a circle. It would have to be an ellipse if it's weak. Yeah, very good question. So the only way you can have a perfect circle is if there's no XY term at all. Right. Anything else? Last call. All right, the last worksheet, 6E dash, whatever on earth it is. Call it, graph and analyze conics. I think there were 5 problems on that. 5 is a detective problem, so you can find your, find what the shape is, and then, write the equation for the conic. Just be prepared on the test, I might ask you to graph and analyze that. Okay, here they were not, they were just asking you to get the equation and you're done. Any questions? Believe it or not, I think that's all I have for you, and I can let you have the rest of the hour to pound away at the last worksheet. Everybody good? All right, so those of you at home or for whatever reason, cheerio. 6E-2, is that 6E-2 or 6E-, just plain old 6E.